I'm Halina Caswell. I have been in care for 34 years plus. I have always lived in the borough of Hounslow, so I know the area really well. My background is in health and social care. I started as a care assistant when I was a young lady of 18, from going to college and had already studied social care. From the age of probably 10 or 11, I had always said to my parents as I was growing up, I want to work in care, which didn't actually go down too well for my family because they just didn't really sort of know what I wanted to do. They just thought I was going to be a care assistant and that was all I was going to do. And they kept saying to me, care? You can't do care. Care's not a job. But care was what I was wanting to do. So I studied at college. From 18, I left college with the vision to maybe go off to become a social worker. But in my day, in the early 1990s or late 80s, care, to become a social worker, you couldn't do it until you hit the sort of age of 21, 22. So at the time it was like, well, what shall I do? So I decided I would just go and get a job as a care assistant. So throughout my years, I've been a care assistant for the care of the elderly, learning disabilities. I worked for several years in an institution for learning disabilities, to then go back into the care of elderly because that's where my passion was. And throughout my career, I have done different roles in care, to deciding many years later that I was in care but I wanted to actually do something better. So I trained to become an MVQ assessor and verifier. On completing that, I was then given an opportunity to work in one of the local colleges where I taught health and social care. As I'd had all the years of care experience, it was quite easy for me to be able to share all my knowledge and skills with up and coming care assistants. From there, I was offered to do a teaching qualification, which I jumped at the chance because I really thought, yes, this is my opportunity for me to progress. So I'm doing a teaching qualification which lasted several years, as well as working full time. I achieved my ambition of what I wanted to do, and from then on that was it. I became an assessor. I then started working in domiciliary care as a residential manager, and that is where I am of today.